So welcome to our YouTube channel LemonTopper for our initiative Master Vocab 30. So now let us look for the articles taken from the Hindu newspaper for March 17, 2026, right? And these are the important articles that you must be going through from today's Hindu newspaper. From the front page, it is about the clarity on the tariff rates by the US, and then regarding the scrapping of the bill to redefine the trans people, and then so the Supreme Court stand on the couple being happy, not a reason to squash the child marriage, and then a crab war in the Silent Valley, so with both male and the female biological traits. And then from going on to the editorial page regarding the Paul Douglas and beginning and the end regarding the passive euthanasia. So, and then neighborhood diplomacy and its West Asia challenge, and then regarding the conference of parties 30 Bellum in Brazil. So a new model of tropical forest finance, and regarding the importance of the sex education in academia, and then the need to electrify the kitchens in the India, and regarding the escort of the Indian vessels in from the Gulf of Oman, and regarding the US CIRF creating a distorted picture of India, says the center. And then the export, it is almost flat in February month. And regarding the app created by IIT Hyderabad that turns the impaired speech into a clear speech in a near real time, right? And then environment, it another casualty from the current West Asia war, right? So if your exams are serious about the both national and the international events, so you must be going through all the articles we have listed here, so that you get a better hold over the newspaper, right? And then for today, let us explore one editorial section. So it is Paul Douglas, which is regarding the announcement of election in the 5 states in the forthcoming months, right? So let us see the list of words from this article. So first word, it is Paul Douglas, which means a signal or announcement marking the start of the elections, right? Heave, which means to lift or pull with effort, right? Pull with effort. Next is sign of relief, means that a feeling of comfort after a worry or a tension. Schedule means something, a planned timetable. Phases means a stages or in the process or the development. Campaign means an organized effort to achieve a political or a social goal. Here the article says about the electoral campaigns, right? Vituperative, right? So it is means that you are very harsh or abusive in or bitter in the language. Most of the time in electoral campaigns you can see the hate speech, which is very vituperative, right? Stoking passions, which means intensifying the emotions, particularly the anger, or like it can be an intensifying, creating an excitement. Next, it is communal rhetoric, which means the speeches that promotes the divisions based on the religion or a particular community. It is the case for a hated speech towards a marginalized communities, right? To the credit of used to praise someone for their positive action, to the credit of election commission. Next, it is contestation, means that competing for the elections, right? Next is discourse, which means a formal discussion. And then pertinent issue means issue that is directly relevant or important to the topic, right? Anomalies, it means that unusual pattern or a deviation that do not fit the expected trends, right? Anomalies, unusual pattern. Gender ratio means the proportion of male and female in a particular population. You all know it, right? See, we have given the meanings here in English as well as you can see that we have given the meanings in Hindi as well. So the idea behind it is, if you don't understand better through English meanings, you can straight away look for their respective Hindi meanings, so that you can get a better understanding of the meaning given here. right? Coming on to the next list of the words, it is like abnormally high, which means significantly higher than the what is considered normal, right? Estimated means error of calculation. Migrants means you can say either it is internal migrants or you can also say that it is external migrants, which means moving from one place to another place within a country or to another country for better work or an better livelihood, right? So next, it is electoral variables, which means the factors like caste, income, region that influence the voting behavior, right? Decisively, which means that in a clear and a firm way that leaves no doubt, right? So authentic, you can say that way. So relative non-factor means that have little or no real impact. So electoral variables have an influence in the voting behavior. So non-factor means it is not a big issue or the thing that does not have a big impact in the electoral campaigns or the voters turnout, right? The sword of Damocles, which means a constant or a looming threat hanging over someone, right? It is like a phrase. Next, the word is logical discrepancies, which means inconsistencies or the flaws in the reasoning or an argument. Review means a careful examination or the reassessment of a situation. Barring means which means an exception for or excluding a particular factor or a case. Distinct element means a clearly identified or a separate part of something. The staying power of, which means the ability of something to last or remain relevant over time. It means that something it is continuing in power, right? Complicate means something made more difficult or complex than before. Primarily means something mainly or chiefly for most of the part. Alliances means formal or informal partnerships between the political parties to face the election. You know that alliances, NDA alliance. So you can that although it refers to a grouping, right? Next, uphill battle. A very difficult task with low chances of success. Very difficult in achieving the success. Anti-incumbency, very relevant term mostly during this election times. Public dissatisfaction against the current ruling government. Resurgence, which means rising again after a period of decline, right? Challenging means something difficult and demanding to deal with or to overcome. Limited footprint, which means a limited presence in a particular region or an area or in particular context, right? To rope in means that to persuade or bring someone into the group. Contest means to compete in the election in the political race. Regarding the next, it is referendum. So referendum, it is a direct vote by the public on a specific issue or a proposal. Crass identity politics, which means politics that crudely exploits the caste, religion or identity for gains, right? What is bipolar contest in international terms? You can say that unipolar, multipolar, bipolar, same the way. Here the election mainly between the two major parties or the alliances, right? So again the word alliances with means that a partnership or an agreement with the another party or the group. See, we have given the meanings even for very simple word. The idea behind it is it. So the aspirant must not look for just a minute. So the aspirant who is a beginner must not stay behind in looking for the words. So hope you understand the coverage is from the beginner's perspective as well, right? So we have given the Hindi meaning as well so that you can have a better hold over the newspaper, right? That's all for the list taken from the article, one of article from today's Hindu newspaper, right? So the other important articles from today's Hindu newspaper is beginning and end. It is regarding to right to die with dignity. And then you know that the how the West Asia challenges the neighborhood diplomacy of India, and then how the model of tropical forest finance. So regarding that, how far it is working on. So that was the article regarding this. And then regarding the importance of sexual orientation and intimacy, so that education must be imparted right from the academia. And then regarding the need for an electrifying the urban kitchens, considering the current import dependence on the LPG and the natural gas. And then there was an app, so assistive technology, where which turns the impaired speech into a clear speech, so in a near real time, right? So how for an West Asia war is another a casualty on the environment. And for the list of the words from these articles, you can straight away go for the website called LemonTopperStudy.com. So where you can scroll and get the list of the words with their meanings in both Hindi and English as well. So, and you know that every day we'll be posting the list of the words around 11 a.m. Daily. So straight away you can go for the LemonTopperStudy.com website and you can access the list of the words daily, so that you have a better vocabulary hold over the newspaper, right? Through the newspaper. So that's all for today. And if you have any doubts and clarification regarding this initiative and some of the words, please post your comments below the video. So we'll try to reply very soon. So that's all for today. Thank you guys. Keep learning. Happy learning. Bye.